Hi guys! Today I'm doing yet another book outlet unboxing. I'm not proud. I know I keep saying I need to stop buying so many books, but whenever I'm bored, I just browse Book Outlet to see if they've added anything, and then I find new stuff, and I'm like, that's a great price, gotta buy it. Even if I'm not planning on reading it for a while, I can't pass up a deal. There's something wrong with me, I know this. So thank you guys for enabling my addiction, because my haul videos generally do pretty well, so I blame YouTube. That's how I'm gonna justify this. But yeah, let's get right into it. So starting off with a book I'd never heard of before, but I was really taken with the cover. I thought it was so pretty. It's called Song of the Crimson Flower by Julie C. Dow. And this book, I believe, has to do with a woman named Lan, and she turns down this man Bao's proposal and later finds his prize flute floating in the river. And she doesn't realize it right away, but the flute has his soul trapped inside, and she has to find a way to break the spell. And even though Bao despises her now for rejecting him, she vows to make amends by freeing him from the flute. So I thought that sounded really interesting. I don't know if it's based on any specific like mythology or anything, but it sounded really cool. And again, beautiful cover. So really excited to read this. It's less than 300 pages. It's a cute little shorty. I'm hoping this one's really good. Next up, we have Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. I try not to buy sequels before I've read the first book in a series, but I have heard literally nothing but good things about Laini Taylor's Strange the Dreamer. So when I saw this on Book Outlet for like $4 or $5, I was like, okay. So I wanted to make sure I got a matching copy of the version for Strange the Dreamer that I bought from Book Outlet a couple months ago. And again, it was a good price, so even if I don't read it for a while, felt like a good deal to pick it up. I'm hoping I like Strange the Dreamer, yeah. Next up, we have Fireborn by Rosaria Munda. I have heard Elliot from Elliot Brooks' channel heap praise on this series. I believe it's a Russian Revolution inspired sort of fantasy book. There's dragons, obviously, so I've always been intrigued by the Russian Revolution, and I love dragons, so I thought that was a great combination. I am intrigued. I believe this has a sequel coming out soon. If it's not already published, it's coming out soon. And I believe it has a totally different jacket design, so I don't know how I feel about that, because I wanted to get this for a good deal, but I might have to repurchase it if I like it, because I can't abide mismatched dust jackets. It's just not okay. So if this is really good, maybe I can pass it off to a friend and make them read it as well. So I'm really excited about this one. Next up, we have Crier's War by Nina Varela. This book, I believe, was in a book box maybe a year or two ago. I'm not sure which one, but it seems so cool. Basically, I believe humanity sort of created these automatons to be like servants to them, but then the automatons took over, and so the ruling class is not human. They had like a whole war and stuff over ruling this country, and now I believe a human servant is sort of vowing to avenge her family by killing the sovereign's daughter, Lady Crier, but then they fall in love. So it's a sapphic fantasy romance. I'm really intrigued, and the cover is really cool. Typically I go for hardbacks, but they only had the paperback, and it is still very beautiful. So I'm very interested in this automaton human relationship thing that this book promises. It sounds very interesting, and it does have a sequel called Ironheart. So if I like it, I will definitely pick that one up. Next up is another one that I bought based off of a fellow booktuber's review, and that is Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte. She read Nocturna sometime in the past couple of months, and she said it was really good. I'd heard that this was sort of like a darker shade of magic, but she said not really. So I'm not really quite sure what this is about actually, but it seems interesting. So from reading the back, it sounds like this is a multi-POV fantasy, and it follows one character named Finn, who is a face shifter, but she ends up getting in trouble and sort of roped into stealing some treasure. And then the other main character is a prince, but he feels like he's never going to live up to his brother's legacy and ends up dabbling in forbidden magic, and their paths end up crossing, and they accidentally unlock a terrible ancient power that has the potential to devour the world. So this sounds really high stakes. I'm intrigued. This also has a sequel out called Occulta, so I'm really hoping this is a cool read. Last up is the book that sort of made me push the buy button on this order, because sometimes I'll just scroll and add stuff to my cart and then like not commit to it. But when I saw this, I was like, I have to buy this stuff now, because this is a book that I've been looking at for quite some time, but it's almost like $30 brand new, and for me that's a lot, even for a hardcover. As you can see, I like to buy books, so I always try to get a good deal on it, and I saw this one for 10 on Book Outlet, and I snapped it up. And that is The Book of Dragons. This is sort of like an anthology. It has several authors that contributed their short stories to this, and they all have to do with sort of the lore of dragons in sort of different parts of the world. And I thought that was so cool. I love a good short story every now and then. And there are some really awesome authors that are included in this, including R.F. Kuang, who wrote The Poppy War, Todd McCaffrey, who is Anne McCaffrey's son. She wrote The Dragon Riders of Pern, and I believe he picked up the mantle of that story after she stopped writing. Garth Nix, who wrote the Sabriel series, Shannon Maguire, Amal El-Motar, who contributed or co-wrote This Is How We Lose the Time War. And yeah, so there's so many authors, I can't even name them all. But I'm so excited for this one. And I don't know if I'll be able to read it straight through because it sounds like there's several stories, but it's, again, one that I've been eyeing a lot. Every time I'm looking in the fantasy section in my local bookstore, I'm like, I want it, but I don't know if I want to pay $30 for it. So this was a gem. This was a great find for Book Outlet. I was really excited about it. All right, and that's my Book Outlet haul. I believe I got all fantasy this time. I'm in kind of a fantasy kick at the moment, so I'm really excited to get to all of these. I'm gonna try to read as fast as I can. I don't know when I'll get around to all of them, but again, when I see a good deal, I gotta snap it up. And I think I just need to block Book Outlet on my browser now, because I have a problem, obviously. But thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like this video and please subscribe to my channel if you like unboxings and me talking about books and stuff. And yeah, so have a great day. Bye.